high action, octane. Okay. I am Gray.
I'm Wolfman. That's me coughing. I'm dying. Don't mind me.
And Wolfman blew my ears out of my
I just
fucking head.
swallowed wrong. Oh my god.
For
Hi,
a second,
everyone.
I
We're
thought I
dying.
was in an old. I thought I was in an old Modern Warfare chat room because my fucking speakers just went.
Fuck.
You all right?
Shit. Yeah, I'm good now.
All those damn bong rips.
I wish. No, I mixed up some milk with some blueberries and blended it up, and then threw some chocolate syrup in there.
Okay.
And a couple pieces of blueberry. I took my last sip right before we got stuck in the back of my throat and just were like hanging there. So I'm like, wasn't choking on them, but
Like
they were
little
causing me,
seeds
yeah,
and little seeds and skin.
causing me to cough, like this. Ugh.
Like violent cough,
Yeah.
not like a not like a throat clearer. Like
They were trying to go down. They were trying to go down the wrong. You know, they were like in that mix between your airway and your fucking your throat hole.
it's literally the wrong pipe.
Yeah. All right. So
This is
now that that's over, yeah, go ahead.
this is our featured star of the week. This week it is a featured actress of the week.
Yes. And our featured actress of the week is the wonderful Dee Wallace. And she has been on everything and anything. If you don't know who she is, when you see her picture, you will know who I'm talking about.
She's okay, guys. We just recorded our episode last night of Demon Knight, and she's basically the female Dick Miller.
No, but no, I wouldn't say that.
She's been in a lot.
Yeah, but
She's been in a lot of things that no one's seen.
No, a lot of people have seen her stuff, actually. No, Dick Miller is like, he's always like that guy. She's always been like a main actress in things, though.
Yeah, but I put her okay. Where Dick Miller's always been like the wise old man. Even when he was like 30, he's like the wise old man. I feel like
but his
like,
his 30 in 1950 was like
was old. I know.
It's like R70 right now.
She's like the quintessential 80s mom.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when
She's always a
think
mom
of a
in a
movie
lot
from
of
the
stuff.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's D.
Yep.
It's got to be.
She's definitely well, even after that, she's always a mom in a lot of stuff. She's your quintessential 80s mom.
She plays a good mom. But she does other stuff too, and she does it well. Deanna Dee Wallace, actually her maiden name was Bowers. She was born December 14th in 1948. She's also known as Dee Wallace Stone.
Yeah, she got married.
And yep, she is an American actress. Now, this is taking a little bit of a liberty, but according to Wikipedia, she is best known as her role as Mary, who was the mother in E.T. But she's also been in horror films, which is where I kind of know her from.
Yeah, she's
The
kind
Hills
of
That
a
Lies,
kind of a stream
The Howling.
queen.
Yeah, Cujo, Critter. All the 80s. Just we just got done talking about how 80s was like the decade for horror, and
Now we're back in it.
she could be one of the reasons some of those movies worked.
What do you mean by that? Just expand on that.
So
Why do they need just her to work? Why couldn't they work without her? That's what I'm curious. Like,
I'm not saying they wouldn't work without her. I'm just saying if you had a different actress in some of these movies, I don't think they would have hit as hard. In particular, I read something that she not up for the role, but her name was tossed out when they were doing the Stanley Kubrick Shining as Jack Nicholson's wife. And I don't know how true that is, but I think to myself, what is like the one thing I actually don't like about that movie? And it's probably
Jack's
the
wife.
actress who Yeah. So who knows?
My only thing with her though for that role is she's too smiley and giggly and happy for that role for me. I feel like you needed more. The thing with Jack's wife, I know we're getting sidetracked, but
yeah,
his wife was very very mild and bland and monotoned or whatever, and I think that worked for it. I just didn't like her. You know what I mean? I think you need another actress that's similar to her, but just a better actress. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know people like her, but...
and we'll talk about her movies later on, but, like, seeing her in, like, Cujo and The Hills Have Eyes, she can play that desperate...
Oh, no. There's no doubt. I just say, like... She fits the latter half better, but she's also
the first half.
Yeah, she and then the wife in the in The Shining. She's not really a final girl per se. Like even though she's a mom, Dee Wallace is like a final. You know, not in the terms of a slasher movie, but she's always that strong, independent one that saves herself or her family or whatever. Jack's wife didn't really do anything in that movie, in my opinion. She just survived, but she didn't.
She got lucky.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
where Dee would have.
Dee would have killed him. She would have killed him if he wrote her. Yeah, because that's what she does. She's a badass.
Yeah, she would have thrived for sure. In the early life, not too much to talk about. She was born. She's from Kansas City, Kansas, not Kansas City, Missouri. She attended Wyandotte High School, and she went to University of Kansas. She got an education degree. She taught high school drama at Washington High School in her native Kansas City in the early 70s. She was briefly married to Barry Wallace and still uses his last name in her career, but their marriage ended in divorce. She then married Christopher Stone in 1980, but he suddenly died in 95, and they had a daughter.
Yeah, he had a heart attack, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they did, I think, 3 or 4 movies together, too.
Okay. And now she's still an actor. Mm-hmm. She's still working, but she's also a public speaker and self-help author. She has 3 books, and she's very, very into talking about one's own self and one's being, which kind of Buddhist, you know. I don't know if she's a Buddhist or not, but a lot of that working on the inner self stuff, you know, relates to Buddhism. So she is definitely a cool lady outside of her acting career.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, she's definitely a badass.
So obviously we're gonna be going down like a lot of her iconic movies, but just what is the one thing that you think of when you think of her? Like, in your opinion, the first thing that comes to mind.
The first thing I think of when I think of Dee Wallace?
Yeah.
Just like badass mom. You know, we kind of talked about it already.
But not one particular movie.
One particular movie. Not really. I mean, maybe Critters. That's probably you know.
I go with E.T.
See, I've seen E.T. Obviously, you know, I'm a child of the '80s, but
yeah,
you know, it's good, but it's not something I ever rewatched. You know, I've seen it a couple times when I was a kid, but I don't think of her in E.T. for some reason. I mean,
that was
maybe it's more Cujo.
That was my first exposure to her.
Maybe it's more.
That's why I remember
maybe
that.
It's more Cujo than Critters. I just say Critters because out of her movies, it's probably like my favorite one, maybe. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's more Cujo. Yeah.
So that was like the first exposure to her that kind of stuck with you long.
Yeah, and that's what I think of when it comes to her. It's probably her best role, and I know when she recorded the movie, it took her to another place. Like her acting, she had to step it up, like, and the adrenaline with the scenes. And she's actually on hormone therapy since that movie because it drained her so much to do that role. Like ever since then, to get her dopamine and serotonin levels back up, it like wiped her after that role. Like she put so much into it that she's on. It said
I believe it.
Therapy to this day. When I read, obviously I don't know, you know, maybe it regulated. You know, I don't know if it ever came back regularly, but that role was like her crowning achievement for a long time. You know, she thought that was like the best thing.
And you know, that movie has to deal a lot with isolation. Like, yes, she acts a lot with a child in the car, but that kid He's like just breathing heavy. He's not really giving much.
Well, she
had to do a lot of heavy lift. Well, the dog,
man versus animal, just 1-on-1 basically. I mean, yeah, she has a kid with her, but
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And like, yeah, there's scenes with other characters, but when she's acting, it's very much her versus the dog. You know,
and it's very intense too.
I can see that.
Rabid Saint Bernard, it's a monster dog.
Yeah, I would not want to fuck with the Rabid Saint Bernard.
Yeah, excuse me. That's my burping.
That's all good.
I don't know if you heard it. Anyway.
No.
So you want to get into her movie list now, or?
Yeah. We're doing things a little bit differently. We're not going over like the entire year chronologically order and this and that. We're just going to be talking about the stuff that was noticeable that she was in.
It's noticeable for me, the stuff that I noticed, and there's a couple in here that I just put in here because they were funny.
Right.
And then we're gonna go over
Jake and the Fat Man.
Jake and the Fat Man. And we're gonna maybe go over some of the stuff she has in pre-production or post-production or completed and see what's going where. I kind of peeked over a couple of them. There are 5 things when we get to them later, but we'll worry about that when we get there. So first notable thing was 1977 was The Hills Have Eyes, which we went over. I mean, it's enough said with that.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great movie.
What was it, episode 5? GrindHaus?
I don't remember exactly what episode. Maybe we did The Hills Have Eyes versus remake. It might be 7. I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of the early ones.
Then in 81 was her next notable, and that was The Howling. We'll see a trending pattern here of mostly horror movies with her. That's like her bread and butter, even though she has 253 acting credits. So I have 19 on here. That's just a small taste of what, you know what I mean, she's been in. There's just way too much to go over in here. Yeah, so The Howling's iconic.
And there's a lot of TV shows and there's a lot of TV movies. So people may not necessarily even know about some of the stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so The Howling is iconic. The iconic werewolf movie came out in 81. Yeah. Then the next thing was 82 is E.T. We sort of talked about that. It's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. You know, just a classic movie. 83 was Cujo. Yeah, it's a Stephen King novel turned movie. We talked about that. It's a very iconic movie. You know, just a mom role as usual. Like, you know.
I'm telling you, she's the quintessential mom of the 80s.
Critters, she's the mother of the family there, along with the mother in E.T. Critters, iconic movie. There's 4 of them, and then they had the new movie later. We're going to get into that, which I haven't seen yet. Critters is one of my favorite little monsters of all time. She was in the movie called...
How do you think they did? I know you haven't seen it, but I mean, just knowing how remakes have been
it's
in
not
the
a
last
remake.
Few years,
It's not a remake. She's in it.
It's a sequel.
Yeah, it's called Critters Attack 2019. Yeah, it's not a remake. She's in it playing herself.
I thought they redid it.
No, as far as I know, it's not a remake. Man. As far as I know, it's like another sequel. I haven't done... I actually thought it was a show. I read it was going to be a TV series. But now it's showing up as a movie. I haven't looked into it very much. I have to go back into it. I have to see. But yeah, it's coming up on IMDb. You know, maybe we'll get to the top. We'll click on it. It's a TV movie, it says. But I thought it was going to be a show. Anyway. So we have Alligator 2, The Mutation, 1990. You know, you gotta love fucking shitty monster movies. You know, the Alligator series is not bad. You have Popcorn, 1991. No. If you don't know about this movie... Let me actually pull it up. The synopsis here.
Popcorn?
Yeah, it's... Just read it. A murderer begins killing off teenagers at a horror movie marathon they have organized in an abandoned theater. Like, that's just your... This should have been made it should have been made in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, the way it goes was from 1991. It's a pretty decent movie. It's not anything, like, crazy good. I mean, I haven't seen it in a very long time. Maybe it's better than I remember it. Maybe it's worse. Whatever, but I know people talk about this a lot. So then you have, after that, you had 1995. Now, I only bring this up because it's the third of like 4 or 5 movies, but the first one is by far the best, but she's not in it. But she's in a series. It's called Best of the Best 3, No Turning Back. Best of the Best is like one of the best martial arts movie of its era. I want to say it came out like 1990-ish, whatever, and it stars Eric Roberts is in it. But he's a legit martial artist, and he fight like
yes,
so
yes, he is.
It's a good movie. This part 3 is when it goes off the chain. Part 4 is even worse, and it starts following one of the characters from the other movie, and it's still not a bad movie. They're fun. They're in those cheesy martial arts action. You know what I mean? Like it's still like a cool movie, but it's nothing great.
Yeah.
So then '96, we have Peter Jackson's The Frighteners, which is another movie we both have to revisit because I remember it being really good.
Yeah.
I think never really saw it, right?
I know the movie poster.
Yeah.
I always saw because it was so cool, the all white. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's actually rated R, so it's in there.
Yeah.
So this is another one I thought was funny. Bad as I Want to Be, the Dennis Rodman story. She played Rodman's stepmom.
Yes. I actually was hoping you wrote this down because it wasn't a movie. And I was like, oh, please let him. Of course you did, because we are both sports fans as well as gun fans as well as horror fans. And I mean, I knew you would. I fucking knew you would.
I despise basketball now. But in the 70s and 80s, and even like a little bit of the early 90s, basketball was fucking a rough sport, man. These guys now that play don't know what it was like to play fucking basketball, man. That's not real basketball they play now. No. These dudes were legit.
No, like Russell Westbrook, if he played against Rodman on the Pistons in like 88
young
to 91,
Rodman, dude,
92,
was a beast.
Yo, Rodman was one of the... See, everyone remembers Rodman for the multicolored hair.
And then the Bulls, and he got older, he was just rebounding. They don't remember the Rodman that could score points and didn't have a beat-up body.
Yo.
They don't remember that guy.
Rodman on the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas
was the Bad Boys.
Fucking killer.
The Bad Boys of basketball, man.
Bad Boys.
There's a great ESPN 2-part documentary about them. Yeah.
Yes, it's awesome.
And then the Miami U one for the Hurricanes for the football is really good, too.
The one with like Tebow and
no, well, it's a two-parter. So they have an earlier one from Jimmy Johnson was coaching them, and Michael Irving and the other people were on that, and then the second part goes into Tebow and the other and
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah. So there's 2 parts to it. So when they were all like fucking crazy back then, But so then
I need to get caught up on that.
And then she did a bunch of TV stuff. We're not going to get into that. And then she kind of got like a, even though it wasn't a huge role, she got a little refresher role in Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. She played the mother, of course. But,
literally, that's...
But this will be the first of 4 Rob Zombie movies that she's in. Mm-hmm. So he uses people for a reason, and he uses cult actors, so that kind of cements her status there.
Yep.
And then she did House of the Devil in 2009.
Now there was one thing. There's one thing I want to mention before we get to 2009. She was a reoccurring character in My Name Is Earl, which is a underrated comedy TV classic.
Well, how recurring of a character was she in that? I've actually watched that like 4 or 5 times, and I don't 100% remember her.
She played the warden's wife, the jail warden.
She had like 3 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, because the warden, he was in like the story.
Yeah, well, that was the whole
beginning of that season.
Yeah, the whole season 4, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I love that show. Such a fucking great show. If you've never watched that show, you gotta watch it. Yeah.
That's why if she didn't have a huge part in it, but I just want to say, like, if I could talk a minute about how great that show is, I will. You know?
Yeah. No, it's a great show. So yeah, House of Devils 2009. She plays the landlady in there. Let me just go over it. Now, it got a 6.4 on IMDb. I've seen it. I remember thinking it was good. I don't remember it. I've only seen it once. It is in 1983. Financially struggling college student Samantha Hughes takes a strange babysitting job that coincides with a full lunar eclipse. She slowly realizes her clients harbor a terrifying secret, putting her life in mortal danger. So Tom Noonan is one of the main people in the movie, and if you don't know who Tom Noonan is, if you've seen his face, you'd know. Fantastic actor. Yeah. There's not a lot of other people in it of big name.
Wasn't he in RoboCop or something?
Yeah, he's the bad guy in part 2.
In part 2, okay. Yeah.
He's also the Ripper in Last Action Hero.
Yes.
He's
okay.
He's Frankenstein's monster in Monster Squad.
Oh shit! No way.
You obviously wouldn't know because But
yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. So, Tom Noonan's a treasure. Yeah, it's those two alone. Even though not he's one of the main characters in it. She's just a landlady. She's a little further now, but it's a pretty it's a solid movie. I won't say it's like terrible. It's not, check it out. Give it a chance.
We'll have to revisit.
Give it a chance. She's in her second Rob Zombie. It's The Haunted World of El Superbeasto in 2009. I did find out something about this. We did a Rob Zombie video, and I did put it in the comments. I don't know if you saw or whatever in the comments. Remember we talked about Rob Zombie directed Tom Papa's videos? Tom Papa voiced the Mexican wrestler in this. So therefore, they must have became friends.
That was their connection.
Yeah, and then so he must have did some some things after that for him. I didn't realize that because Tom Papa, I don't put his voice. You know what I mean? Like I hear him. I listen to some of his comedy stuff. He's like kind of a clean comic, but he's on Joe Rogan a lot. So like
wouldn't tie him to Rob Zombie.
I haven't seen that show in forever, and that and it's really good. It actually has Dr. Satan in it. I don't know if it's the same Dr. Satan that's supposed to be in House of a Thousand Corpses. So I don't know if it has some backstory that I'm realizing. It's a character in there. So it's something I need to go back and rewatch and see if I'm going to put some more pieces together. But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's got animators from like Disney and stuff. So Rob Zombie's idea, concept, I'm sure he tweaks some stuff, but it's other people doing animation. So it's got that gritty, it's got that gritty Rob Zombie-ness to it, but yet with like that high-end Cartoon Network style animation that's really like of our generation that we like
our golden age of cartoons.
I think of like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Stuff we both said the same.
Like it's similar like style like that. And then she did her next Rob Zombie movie in 2012, Lords of Salem. We're going to skip right over that.
Yep.
Nothing to see here. Nothing happened in 2012.
Yeah, seriously. It just fell off the face of the earth.
And then 2013, she did RoboCroc. I got to mention RoboCroc because, it's fucking RoboCroc.
Jesus Christ.
Whether the movie is a piece of trash or not, that is to be seen. It's a TV movie. It's a sci-fi movie. But, look at the picture. It's fucking RoboCroc. Like it's under there. It's what the fuck's the picture say on there?
Listen,
the world's most lethal weapon. Like, come on. I love monster movies. Not as good as
the porno parody RoboCock, but it's definitely.
But like when you read it, like when I saw this, I'm like, holy crap! I need to see this. And then there's a scene that like in the trailer that makes it look like Piranha, like they're at a water park. But when you read this, it says a rocket carrying nano robots crash land shortly after takeoff into a zoo. The bots are released and find their way into a massive crocodile. The croc, now programmed to kill, will target anything and anyone for its next meal. Jesus it's like Uber Christ. Jason, but crocodiles, but a crocodile.
It's an
Uber croc.
Uber croc of shit.
Yeah. But it's one of those you just want to laugh at. So the next,
we would definitely watch it. Yeah.
The next movie I'm noting is, I'm pretty sure, again, I watched so many movies. I'm pretty sure I saw this, and if I didn't, it was recommended to me by a buddy. It got very low ratings on IMDb, but it doesn't mean it's not good, because there are tons of movies that have low ratings. It got a 4.3.
Oh my God.
In 2016, she did a movie called Red Christmas. A mother must protect her family on Christmas Day from a demented strangler who is hell-bent on tearing them apart. So...
Okay.
there's no one
there
really.
There is one thing I saw
Yeah.
from 2014.
Okay.
It says 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And
no, it's not 2 girls, 1 cup.
Immediately. Yeah. I don't. Our fucking generation's fucked up, man. I don't know. That was the first thing I thought. It's like, what, did she like direct it or something?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Red Christmas is like a standard Christmas slasher movie.
Have you seen it?
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Off of what you read off.
She's got
of
to
it.
protect her family.
Is she the mom?
Yeah, she's the mom. She's the main. She's the first listed in there, so it's like she's the main person in the movie. I skipped a ton of stuff. Jumped up to Critters Attack, which is what we were about to talk about earlier.
Yeah,
and it is a
Let me take a look
TV movie. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a series on Shudder. I think it's on Shudder right now. I'm not 100% sure. It follows 20-year-old Drea, who reluctantly takes a job babysitting for a professor of a along she hopes to attend, struggling to entertain the professor's children, Trissy and Jake, along. I had a blah, 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 along with her own little brother Philip. Dre takes them on a hike, unaware that mysterious alien critters have crash landed and started devouring every living thing they encounter. So, I want to say she's playing the same character from the earlier ones, because if you look, her name is Dee. I'm pretty sure her name was Dee in 86 and Critters here. Oh no, it's Helen Brown. I really thought she was playing the same character, because the family survives.
You would think,
and like they kind of play off it later on. So I thought she was gonna play the same character. Maybe they just threw her in here because of it is. See, I'm reading about this now. Live. This is what happens. So you never know. Well, it's not live to you guys, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but we do it off the cuff.
I do a lot of these off the cuff. So, like you said. Oh, so there is a series. It's called Critters: A New Binge, 2019. So there is a series. Okay, so I misunderstood. Okay. It looks like there's something from 2014, Critty's Bounty Hunter, but it's a short. It's not a movie. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So I gotta keep an eye out.
Get caught up on the new Critter stuff coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not. It's a TV movie. Who knows? It could be like when they redid the Hellraiser, without Doug Bradley, and they're basically TV movies, and they're fucking god awful. Watch at your own risk, but it is the Wallace in a Critters movie. I figured I gotta at least give it a mention. And then the final thing I'm going to mention before we go into like her other like newer stuff is she was in 3 from Hell with Rob Zombie. She was the main prison guard that feuds with Baby in jail, and it's kind of like a decent story arc in there. And I actually didn't recognize her at first. Yeah, she's older, short hair. I mean, she always had short hair, but just it's
but with her age, she does.
And then you're like,
different.
Oh shit. That is her. Never mind.
That is
that is her. All right. So
does she have stuff coming up in the works?
Yeah, that's what we're going to go over now. A couple of them had stuff on here that seemed interesting, and one of them didn't. I'm just going to weed out the one that didn't have anything here. Okay. And then I'll go into... So I'm just opening them all. Okay. So the Bewailing is the one that didn't. So we're going to skip over that. Of course, that's
the first one I clicked on.
Yeah, it's the third one on here. So Final Cut has something on there, and Catch a Falling Star. Yeah, I'm not even. That's like some country music bullshit. So, anyway, all right. So,
that.
So the first one we're going to mention is Await the Dawn. She's going to play a character called Annie. It says completed, but with the current COVID stuff going on, we don't know if it's coming out, how much is it actually completed. We don't know what's going on. A troubled family traveling across country are hijacked by a desperate man, only to discover he's running from something more dangerous than he is. To me, that sounds pretty cool. That's something I would like to check out. Kind of has a cool cover. It's kind of weird. I don't know how much it matches the movie, but
it has Dee Wallace and it has Vernon Wells.
Yeah. I was gonna say and Courtney Gaines. You know who Courtney Gaines is?
Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Children of the Corn,
Good
Burbs, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
A couple of, So
fucking Malachi, yeah.
It has a couple people in it. It makes me wonder, could this be good? Could it not? It seems like it could be, Vernon Wells and a lot of things. If you've seen his face, you know exactly who we're talking about. Commando, Mad Max 2, Weird Science, Inner Space.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good actor. It's kind of weird, like,
and there's
how he got some of those roles.
There's a lot of newer actors attached to this Await the Dawn, which is always exciting because you never know when you're going to see a new actor that you really like,
I clicked on the director here. He was trying to see if he wrote anything good. Doesn't see anything right off the top. He was a miscellaneous crew on Clerks 2. He was hanging out with Kevin Smith, so maybe learn something from him.
Yeah, pick something up off him. That'd be cool.
You don't know what miscellaneous crew could be anything. You don't know it's that. So
he could be assistant photography manager, some bullshit.
Mostly video shorts, and he did 4 episodes of a TV show, and then this looks like his first full-on movie. So I mean, you never know. This guy could be the next up-and-coming director. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Director's name is Pablo Macho Masonette IV.
Got a good director's
it's a fucking
name,
handful of goddamn names. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye out for that. You never know; it could be good. So the next one I'm going to go into is called Bits, and it is in post-production, meaning it's filmed. It seems like they're just editing it, and her character is the fallen one. So it makes me think that she's some sort of demon or something, possibly, or maybe a fallen angel. I don't know. But she's billed third in the line, so she has a prominent role, it seems. It's not gonna. So this one is when a haunted 90s video game resurfaces in the present, Scott and his friends must figure out how to stop the game from a vicious real-life killing spree without they themselves facing game over. So that seems like it could be kind of cool. You maybe get into a video game. If done right, this movie could be cool. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a fucking Tron, and we're all going to hate it. But it could be promising. You know what I mean? Dominique Swain's in it. She's kind of a decent size actor. She's done.
I just noticed. I saw the picture of this guy, and I'm like, where do I know this guy from? James Duvall is in this upcoming movie. He was in the Donnie Darko stuff.
Yeah, when you see James Duvall, though, you're thinking of... Actually...
Is it him, or is there someone else that looked like...
Shit. I think of the old guy, James Duvall, but this isn't... I don't think this is him.
Or Robert Duvall?
Maybe Robert Duvall. Maybe this is his son. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe it...
I'm thinking of Robert Duvall. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. This guy's got a lot of credits for being a younger person. So, it says actor, producer, writer.
Yeah. Well, he was born in 72.
Yeah, this is Donnie Darko, Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, he's in May, Independence Day. Independence Day, was he like the kid that fucking...
Miguel.
What's his face? His father, Randy Quaid, and he dies. Is this him?
Was
he play?
Now I do have
to... Does he play the kid when I see his...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. His dad's
photos.
the alcoholic and stuff.
Yeah, it's Randy Quaid.
Yes.
So it was like him and the daughter. Yeah. He has a lot of stuff in here.
So he's been in...
I think he does everything... I think he probably does everything that puts in front of his face. That's what it looks like.
Oh my God, Jake and the Fat Man.
Yeah, Jake and the Fat Man. He wasn't even born yet, but yeah. So let's keep an eye on this movie. Actually, why does that name look familiar?
Who's that?
Bill Oberch Jr.
He was in 3 from Hell.
Yeah, that's not... Age of the Living Dead, Scream Queens, Criminal Minds. He's in a million fucking things. Sorry, people. We're just... Sometimes you just see things and it sparks your brain, and you're like, Dude, this guy's got
you
like
see a
this guy's
picture
got
of an actor
30
and
things
you're
like
where do I know this person?
Yeah, he's got like 30 things announced. He's got 190 credits. I think he's another one of those like he's just in a lot of
just give
of
him
movies.
anything and he'll do it.
I should go back down further, not looking at some of these like newer stuff. That's what I should do because that's probably where I know him from.
You probably know him from when he was a kid or like a young adult, because that's like his most memorable look. Like that Independence Day character, that is what I recognize.
I don't know. His acting didn't start till 2007, so he got 190 credits from 2007 till now.
Christ, okay.
So yeah,
what do you do like 40 bounty commercials?
No. Literally does everything thrown. That name sounds familiar. I just don't know. I'm scrolling through this pretty quickly, so
yeah, we might have missed something.
Yeah, I can miss something.
But like you said, though,
he was in a Krampus movie. I think a Krampus movie, not like Krampus. So.
Not the Krampus movie, but
man, I don't know. Maybe there's got to be something in here that I recognize from. It's just a name, Bill Oberst Jr. Maybe I heard that name be mentioned before.
The Oberst sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you what he was tied to.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well,
man.
So on to the last thing I'm going to mention with her, and we'll wrap this up, is a final cut. She plays Captain Michelle Morgan. A film school professor gets trapped in a police investigation when one of her students is murdered. The footage of her death appears online. The pressure intensifies. As more students are murdered, each of their death footage shows up on the university's video streaming service. He tries to prove his innocence and save his marriage as the investigation unravels dark secrets. So this could be like a psychological horror murder mystery type thing going on. Could be kind of cool. There isn't much in the actors listing, but she's attached to it.
Okay.
So
she got some stuff
coming up.
So
that's in pre-production. So I'm assuming it might have got put on weight for what's going on now.
On hold now.
She also did The Bewailing.
I still had the
pre-production.
page open for Bill Oberst Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a 2010 movie called Nude Nuns with Big Guns.
I actually seen that up somewhere before, and I never watched it. It was on my watch list for a while. I never got around to it.
Okay. The tagline is, "This sister is one bad mother."
Yeah. It's one of those exploitation type movies.
The nun-exploitation. Yeah.
No, but just it's probably just full of gore and shootings. It's kind of like Hobo with a Shotgun.
Like right up our alley, basically.
That with some movies came out around that time, and they were just literally just about how they can kill. Not much of story. It's probably like
a good movie.
It's like it's probably like super gory gunplay version with boobs,
cheesy one-liners
of Invasion USA. Just action scene after action scene after action scene of like
I'm fine with that.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm just saying, but
we'll have to put that on the watch later.
All I know is she's one of the top ladies out there acting today and in the past. She's amazing. She has tons of talent. I can't say enough good things about her.
I'm very glad that she's still getting work. Mm-hmm. She deserves it, and I honestly think she deserved to have been in a lot more bigger films. Now in the 80s and the late, Hills Have Eyes at the time wasn't huge. Yeah, E.T. was massive, and Cujo, Critters did well, but she's the kind of actress that deserved to be in bigger stuff throughout her entire career.
Yeah,
and
she just
maybe
she was a pretty woman, but she didn't have those supermodel looks that a lot of people went for. She was like your everyday woman that was a good, like she was like the mom next door.
She played a good mom. But it seems like in the mid and late 90s, she picked up everything that was thrown in front of her. A lot of TV movies, a lot of TV shows, and they didn't do very well.
She might have just thrown herself in her work after her husband died. I mean, they were in The Howling together, I think it was, in Cujo, and then something else, and then he died like right after. So she might have just thrown herself in her work. You know?
Yeah, just keeping busy as much as possible. And
yeah, there was like a funny thing. I think every role that he was in, she was sleeping with that guy, and it wasn't her husband, but he was her real life husband. Like, it was kind of funny. Like, it was like I think it was something along those lines. It was just funny the way it worked out. So
nice.
I mean, you have anything else to say? I think we're ready to wrap this up, or?
No, I think she deserves much more credit than she gets, and she should be used more than what she is.
I agree. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Go check out the Patreon if you want to be part of our Discord for gaming and just talking and chatting. It's like a forum if you don't know what Discord is. There's also a thing where you come in and talk to us if you want. We can talk via our microphones and camera, whatever. There's all sorts of options in there. You can leave what you want to see.
If you don't know what Discord is, because like I'm new to Discord, and it's awesome. It's more organized than any other website like this, where we can actually talk and communicate and share links and memes and all that stuff. I'm very happy that I'm getting to learn this.
Fun spot. Like I said, and it's a lot of gaming people use it, so that's where it started as a gaming communication. So people just talk to each other in game instead of using the in-game mechanics. You can, they make little chat rooms and stuff in there. But yeah, you want to join our Discord? Throw us a message. Follow us on Patreon, YouTube, all that stuff. Doesn't cost a lot if you want to help support the channel through the Patreon. It starts as low as $3 and goes up to $20 monthly, or you can just donate as much as you want, whenever you want. You don't even have to do a subscription on it. Yeah. And we appreciate every one of you. So that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you haven't seen our YouTube or our Facebook, start off there. And if you're interested in more of our content, that's like the best taste that you can
Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably stumbled across it, or you're a frequenter of our other videos, and we hope you enjoyed it, and go watch some more of them already.
Seriously. There's a lot.
Yeah. Leave some comment love.
We actually have a pretty nice catalog going on.
All right. On that note, GrindHaus out.